So, as always, with a lot of casting decisions and putting people in the role of particular characters, usually this news will wind up breaking the internet. We recently had Ryan Hurst, the guy who was doing Thor in God of War Ragnarok. Now he's going to be Kratos. Very interesting actor all across. I want to see his job. I want to see his performance. I want to see his acting in that role. Now we also have Sophie Turner in the main Explorer boots of Lara Croft, a prestigious and well-known female icon that's been kicking ass and doing backflips and raiding tombs for years. After the colossal fuck up of Square Enix selling off all their Western IPs and Amazon scooped up the rights to Tomb Raider, they're doing a live-action Tomb Raider television show, and this is the costume test that we're seeing right in front of us. Personally speaking, in my opinion, this looks fine. I have no problem with how this outfit is presented. There's a couple of nitpicks here or there. I do believe that the shorts should be the signature classic Tomb Raider style Lara Croft brown. I don't know why they're black for some reason, unless I'm blind and my eyes deceive me, but those are some charcoal fucking shorts, and I'm used to Lara Croft wearing the light blue top and the brown shorts, right? And I don't think we're seeing that in this image. So this can be fixed, and this is a simple costume test. Sophie Turner, as far as I know, she was in the terrible X-Men films, like Dark Phoenix. And I think the main problem for those movies in particular is the scripts are terrible, all right? I can't hold one bad movie with a terrible script on the weight of the actor, because not even a good actor, like a great actor, can save a bad script. Maybe you'll say, hey, their performance stood out. I compare it to something like Jenna Ortega in that movie she was in with The Weeknd. People said that movie was god fucking awful, but Ortega was good in it. As far as I know, the general consensus is that the acting of Sophie Turner is up and down. As far as I know, according to friends who are more cinephile coded than I am. I guess we'll have to see how her acting attributes, if she will elevate this character or not. That's the most important thing. So far, this test looks fine. I still prefer Angelina Jolie as Lara Croft, because I mean she just got that down pat, man. From the look, lips, everything was just fucking pristine, and this is fine. I think they emulated something cool here. She's obviously yoked up for this role, which is good that they have someone that really bulked up and worked out for this, and they are taking this seriously. They want to take this seriously. I heard her interviews, and I guess we will see how this stands up to scrutiny when her acting translates to the actual character. Will she get the personality down? How's the personality traits? Will she embody Lara Croft? Those things remain to be seen when this show releases, but overall, not bad. Like I said, built, she looks the part. She has the, I know people were complaining about her having this sort of auburn reddish hair, when I'm like, she had that from the beginning. So I don't know what you guys are complaining about. I saw Twitter people saying, why does she have red glasses? She had that originally in the original trilogy. But as usual, people are coming out and they're giving their assessments. And personally, the first one that I saw was the one where GameStop said, this is not Lara Croft. Now, I'm not going to say that a gaming chain or a place where gaming products are sold or social media managers aren't allowed to use their platform to give personal thoughts. But I will say this, when you say it's not Lara Croft, what do you mean in specifics? Because how is it not reminiscent of the character? Like, she is built, she looks fine, she has the classic glasses, she has the classic hair. The only thing I hate is no brown khakis, but how is it not Lara Croft? I feel like you need to substantiate that opinion a lot more and express what you really mean when you say something this vague. I would like more context, more details, more context clues to where you're getting at when you talk about this in dismay. Other than that, I think you have personally bigger fish to fry if you are closing 470 stores amidst the CEO doing this high stakes payment plan where he's obviously going to jump off the bridge with a golden parachute and fucking sell away while GameStop is burning into ash and cinder, okay? You have far more problems than your social media manager talking about the dismay of the character's look on fucking Twitter. I just think that it's funny, is kind of crazy, and the roasts in the comments are just constantly piling on as I read these. I'm sorry, her boobs have too many polygons. I don't want to hear from a company responsible for the destruction of 25% of physical games in history. Don't you have Funko Pops to sell before you go out of business? Put the Funko Pops in the bag, bro. Also, I guess GameStop. I haven't been in a GameStop in a long fucking time, but I guess they are Funko Pop revenue chains. Go shill some more garbage that loses even more money. Can it Funko Pop Emporium? No one wants to hear shit you say. Focus on not closing stores, bro. It's really weird for a brand to be doing this. So it's just they're getting totally dunked on, right? What the hell? I just see Pedro Pascal as Lara Croft, but yeah, I like Angelina Jolie. I would never shit on Angelina Jolie as the pick back in the day for the classic Lara Croft. Although, that being said, I'm not really against new people stepping into the shoes of this character. I think that's totally fine. Maybe they can add some elevation to the role. I guess we have to see. It's all a wait and see affair, in my personal opinion, which makes it a fair assessment. But we have Mr. Ranting for Vengeance again, and I know people are wondering, like, why do you react a lot to this guy? It's just a bunch of obvious rage bait, okay? Here's the disclaimer before I react to this video. Number one is that there can be people out there that are influenced by these clear rage bait channels, even if you find them to be inherently worthless, which I do. I think this is the slop of YouTube, and I rarely use slop often, but these are fucking grifter slop channels, 100%. I believe they add nothing valuable to the platform in terms of validity. I believe all they do is just perpetuate inherent anger 24/7, and that's how they bank off people. But you have to understand that when you have an entire community of people, you have followers, you have people that will echo the words that you say, and that misinformation continues to spread. Even if you find this person not that serious, or you find this person to be a clown or a complete joke, and when that misinformation spreads and is not contained, that can lead to a very dangerous precedent of slander, libel, all types of shit that just gets out of control, which is why you see a lot of anti-woke, hive mind, social media drones, because these channels exist. Therefore, it's important to understand the talking points of differing sides, debates, and everything, because of the misinformation that tends to get spread and tossed around a lot on this platform. So I am going to react to this video. I'm probably going to react a little bit to Drinker's video or any other video that I see, maybe Dr. Disaster, and we're gonna see what people are inherently saying about this design that's not necessarily me.
So I'm gonna make this one short. There's a brand new up and coming ultra woke Tomb Raider TV show on Amazon.
All right, so in the first few seconds, it's immediately woke, and nothing is substantiated about that whatsoever.
prime. And I couldn't really care less about it, except for the fact that there's fake fans all over Twitter saying that the casting for Lara Croft is perfect, when in reality it's this, some flat as a board BLM woke bitch who just put on the...
Alright, so I'm gonna say two things real quick. Number one, if an actor supports said thing, we had this fucking conversation so many goddamn times, dude, where it's not even funny. Your favorite actor will always have differing politics in real life. You can think what you will about that, whether you disagree or agree with them, that's whatever. But what's important to me with that actor is convincing me and buying me into the character. I don't give a fuck about someone's personal politics when it comes to my entertainment. Like, that's when I start to separate the art from the artist, okay? And it's a lot of people that are incapable of doing that. I said this time and time again. Oh, this person's gonna change the script. Can you substantiate that? Where's the evidence of this? Are they an executive writer? Are they someone with executive credits? Are they someone who has director pull? You know, and that's not to say that actors haven't really influenced things to the point where directors had to change things in scripts or rewrite their roles or give them more money. You know, that's very capable in Hollywood, but I'm saying to you, where's fucking evidence of this? If I want to pull something in the past from Edward Norton, where, you know, this guy is notoriously difficult to work with, and how the production of American History X and how certain things were going in his direction in favor of the other real director. Like, if I want to pull that out, that's an example I could use. But you're not doing that specifically with this show. Like, what is the problem? What is the actual problem? Them supporting BLM. What does it have to do with the merits and what's going to be the writing of this new Tomb Raider show? That's all irrelevant. All I care about is how Laura's written, how she acts, how she reacts. That's it. People just make this big complication over nothing, right? And you don't know these people. You never met these people before. You have no glimpse or idea of how they actually are as people. You see activism and then you throw up fucking red rage-filled eyes. Like, who gives a fuck? Calm the fuck down and fucking drink some coffee and go outside and touch some goddamn grass, because that's what you need to do. Secondly, yes, she is not well endowed like Angelina Jolie or even the game model itself, but me personally, I'm like, yeah, Lara Croft has titties, but you can still be an actress that embodies the personality when it comes down to brass tacks. Like, if she's good in this role and she doesn't have double D's, then that's personally fine. Like, what I'm concerned about is how well do you embody the character. One for one, there's always going to be an actor or an actress that doesn't inherently either have physical features of the character 100%, or they're not going to be 100% the same race. I saw arguments of people saying this about Oscar Isaac as Moon Knight, saying, oh, he's not white and he's not Jewish, but how is that detrimental to his acting and some of the credits that he brought on the table as the character? And I think him as Moon Knight was fine, right? I think that was actually really good. I'm not hung up on every singular detail of an actor. I'm hung up on, can they make this role believable? And I think that should be common sense. I think that should be common knowledge. I think that should be more commonly accepted, as opposed to, well, she doesn't have the knockers that I want. Let's just invalidate everything else. That's very, very, it seems like narrow-minded, I guess I want to say, to a sense. Let's see how she performs, and then we will cast our judgment once that show finally comes out.
costume. But before I fully destroy this, if you like these type of videos, maybe consider
No, fuck your Patreon. No.
from the 90s who played it on the PlayStation 1. There was no cool queer people or furries. Go back to Blue Sky. And the same
What the fuck? Again, I don't understand why you feel the need to. We know it's rage bait, but you just feel the need to project your hate into places where you're trying to give a history lesson, and I just can't take you seriously because you have all these issues cropping up like a checklist. So you fucking Blue Sky, just stay off of it. You have a problem with furries, you don't have to interact with furries. Did a furry fuck your mom? I have no idea. But it's just funny to me that all of this stuff comes up in every single point that he tries to make. So
who played it on the PlayStation 1. Resident Evil was some white guy from the 90s who played it on the PlayStation 1. There was no cool queer people or furries. Go back to Blue Sky. And the same goes for Tomb Raider. You know, the franchise that started on the PlayStation 1. The fanbase is predominantly white straight males. Not
okay, I need some stats for that. You gotta give some stats for this one, both ways. I know what he's kind of referring to. I think there was a popular post that said Lara Croft was made for the gays, and even that I don't really fully agree with. I would tell that person, provide some stats. A character could be universally loved, and your sex and orientation and none of that shit really matters. Like, I'm a straight dude. I like Tomb Raider. I like Lara Croft. A universal icon is typically a character that appeals to a large faction of people, which is the way that it is. But in reverse, this guy is saying that, well, it was made for the white dudes in general. Now, I know Lara Croft is a sexual icon, right? And that's how she was being held up back then in the 90s, where they were putting her on magazines, I think, similar to Maxim and whatever, and saying she was the hottest character of all time back then. But gamers, times, and demographics evolve. More people start getting plugged into the system. I'm pretty sure there are minorities who love Lara Croft as a character. I'm pretty sure there are white people who love Lara Croft as a character. I'm pretty sure there are gays and straights and stuff like that who love this character. There's many more gamers playing games today, and to try to lump your own sort of race or whatever and tie that in, or your own sort of sexual philosophy on a character that's widely known and has wide appeal, is a stupid argument. Can we just like a good character? I mean, can we just keep it simple to that? I feel like, once again, in this era of social media, logic is just lost, dude, and this is not acceptable to some people for some reason.
Feminists or gay dudes whining on Twitter about how Lara Croft belongs to them when she was clearly designed for men. So this is going to be pretty short because I don't know.
Alright, so once again, she is a sexual icon, but that does not mean that other people cannot widely like the characters. Not just all dudes that like Lara Croft, especially white people. What the fuck are you talking about? Again, I'm black as like chocolate on a Sunday afternoon, and I like Lara Croft, so I don't think anybody can be excluded out of that equation. You can't pull a Clerks 2. Oh, I'm taking it back. No, let everyone like the character for what she is, bro. Like, no side should be doing that whatsoever.
What else there is to be said, but this is nothing like Lara Croft. There's probably millions of cosplayers out there that did a better job. This is just
okay. Can those cosplayers act? Like, are they actors? Can they have acting jobs? Do you think that cosplayers, just because they might look goddamn fucking good and goddamn fucking impressive as Lara Croft, but they're not actors. There's some cosplayers like that that are humble, that said I never stepped onto a stage and convinced people in my life. Um, yeah, you gotta have to the tango sometimes, and sometimes it appeals and amounts to the closest that you can get, you know. And that's fine. And maybe Sophie Turner is a horrible actress. Maybe she would be horrible in this, but I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt just in case, no matter what. Like, I think everything deserves the benefit of the doubt. So we will see how she is in this role when that show comes out.
Amazon taking some random woke bitch who just a couple years ago
I don't think it was random. I believe that there was a casting process. Everybody goes through it. There was auditions, and I'm sure that they found, so it's always the same story, right? It's always the same shit. We found somebody special in these auditions, and we're gonna bring them in. We're gonna do these tests of them in the costume. We're gonna pick this person. I'm sure there was competition for this role. I'm sure it was extensive, just like it was when, they went out to find Spider-Man, and it was millions of people stepping up to that role. I want to be Spider-Man. So I don't think it was random as a choice at all. I believe it was an audition in place, and they picked this person to be Lara Croft. Again, all the activism stuff being brought in, that doesn't matter for the role. What matters is, can you embody the character, yes or no? And that remains to be seen.
was crying about George Floyd and BLM looks nothing like the character in any
Okay, you tell this motherfucker so goddamn apparently racist. And this is why you had a shiner in one of your videos. I'm gonna be mean. I'm gonna be mean. Probably some black kid like punched him out, and he had a vendetta ever since. Probably because he was talking shit and saying the N word under his breath. You want to make all these grand assumptions. I guess I can make them. Probably why you say shit that you say, as well as your father being a dumb piece of shit and not monitoring your activity online. It's just, it comes from within. It comes from the family. It comes from the household.
way whatsoever, and just putting her in the costume and nostalgia baiting people. Seriously, that's just a quick note I have to try to get.
How? Wait, hold on. Explain that. How is that nostalgia bait to have a particular outfit, or an outfit reminiscent of what the games represent? I mean, if she wore nothing that was similar to the games, you would be the first one complaining, right? So, how, what? Remember when people were complaining about the black leather outfits with the old Fox X-Men movies, and they were saying, why the fuck is this so inaccurate to some of the comics? Like, I don't get it. I don't understand. Where's the classic outfits? If it was her wearing a pink tutu, you'd be the first one complaining about that shit. So I don't want to hear it.
Across some of my American viewers is where I come from. There's about 50 girls that look like this, and they're usually fish and chip eating bitches who
What the fuck? Okay, so he's trying to elevate the women in his area as, you know, hold on. I don't want to misinterpret him, so I'm gonna let him run that one back. Give me a minute.
is where I come from. There's about 50 girls that look like this, and they're usually fish and chip eating bitches.
Okay. So this is some personal problem, right? You're mad because I don't. You sound like, I don't know. He's Irish, right? Uh, So you were mad that girls around you look like Sophie Turner, and therefore you use this as a vendetta on your platform to take it out on the actress who you don't know, who you never met. What the fuck? Like, okay.
Who all look the exact same. So seeing a beloved
This is seriously lack of pussy parasocial issues, man. This dude's crocked.
legendary character like Lara Croft, which is extremely unique in her outfit and the way that she looks and in the way that she acts, just turn out to be another one of those retarded looking English bitches when she comes on screen in live action is kind of spasticated.
I hate that there are women in my area that looks similar to this because I don't talk to them. That's what he's saying to us, right? Because I don't talk to them. So therefore, I'm just going to project my anger out on the world. And like, what? Like, bro, what is bro yapping about? Seriously, like, come on, fam. Like, dude. It's just, it is pathetic behavior to be raised like this, and to this is just a severe lack of social connection between people being exhibited for someone to exist to believe this shit. Like, seriously. Um when I was around, and when I was like a teenager and shit like that, this wasn't even a thought on my mind for thinking, oh man, there's a certain woman in my area that I couldn't stand. I'm going to project that rage on the internet because she looked similar to an actress. Now I don't like her and I don't like the actress. This gives me some fucking PTSD war vet syndrome. Like, what is he talking about, bro? Seriously. Like, this is just dumb shit 101. Like, who does this? What kind of philosophy is this? Uh it's seriously make toe shit where someone treats a bad experience that they probably had with a girl trying to go with a crush, probably getting denied, and then projecting all this shit out like hotcakes. This doesn't make you look good. You do realize that.
Shouldn't know people who look like Lara Croft. Say what you want about the Angelina Jolie movies, which kind of suck. She was the perfect casting. She looked
She does look good. I agree.
mature and tough enough to play a character like Lara Croft without bordering on feminism, because the character was never that. This, as I
Where'd you get that from? Like, what? Again, he's cross mixing, cross referencing the actor's real life politics into what they're going to do with the actual character, which remains to be seen. Again, if you can substantiate this evidence, that's totally fine. But for now, I'm just going to work in good faith and I'm not going to believe you until I actually see it.
said, looks like a 15-year-old bitch that doesn't
What? That's funny.
really know anything about Lara Croft or Tomb Raider and was just put in the costume. And I don't really know how the original Lara Croft hourglass build equates to somebody that's built like a 2x4. It's not.
That's so funny because if I want to be super technical, if I want to be really, if I want to be that guy, right, and look at these two images and say these two have a similar build, I would kind of disagree, especially in the waist, especially in the PS1 polygons versus the PS2. If I really want to be that guy, I can just be like, the same? I don't know about that. Like, different generations, things change, they upraise things, and this looks a lot more like detailed, which I like very much. Even though, they made some differences to the outfits with the brown shirt and everything, but I digress. I like this. I like both, but there's no way that he's saying it's the same exact build. Like, what?
Equates to somebody that's built like a 2x4. It's nothing.
And I wouldn't even say Turner is built like a plank or whatever. It's just that she's not well endowed as the game model. That's simply it. And I don't think that should exclude you from a role if you were in a extensive audition process and you managed to beat out the rest of the competition. Maybe those girls were also well endowed, but they didn't like the casting tapes, so they decided to skip them. There's no offense to them. At least they applied for something, and it was like, great, but not what we're looking for. It's like a regular routine job when you look for people like this. They have to do something special to impress the fucking acting directors and the people pitching the show there. So whatever they saw special, we have to see it as well in action.
Personal, it's basically just the facts. You could have cast a way more
That is not a fact. That is your subjective taste.
accurate actress that didn't look like this. I'm back to the feminism for a second. Lara Croft as a character is not feminist. Yeah, she can do backflips, say one-liners, dual wield.
Again, why is he saying this? Where did this whole thing of feminism come from outside of you having issues with people on social media that may have posted something about Tomb Raider, but it's not from the official account? Like, bro, shut the fuck up. Like,
pistols, but that doesn't mean she's feminist or catered towards women and gay people.
again, you can cater a character to anyone, and they can have that distinctive appeal where someone can like that character regardless. That's just a bunch of bullshit.
Going off on a massive rant, characters like Lara Croft just don't exist anymore. And that's why you can't cast them properly, because badass women who aren't feminist bitches don't really exist anymore either. So that's why
What? What? Badass women that aren't feminist bitches don't exist in media, and then he brings up Sarah Connor. I mean, didn't people recently really like, again, badass bitches don't exist in media? Didn't people really like Lady Adler? Didn't people really like Lady Sif and God of War? Didn't people like these characters, or am I going crazy? I mean, didn't people like the main character? I forget her name, the chick in Alien Romulus recently. You know what? What? Okay. Well, was she not seen as cool or a badass to some people? Like, I just gave like 3 examples, and I don't know why you're saying that these characters or these archetypes don't exist. If you want to talk about, once again, another character that, and now I don't necessarily like this game. I didn't like the game that I played with the demo, but people, they dig E from Stellar Blade. Like, isn't that another archetype of a character that's supposedly sexy that exists, that kills all these fucking like creatures and whatever? You're gonna have to be very, very specific when you say they don't exist, because, well, they do.
in classic 80s movies and 90s and 2000s sci-fi shows, you could get badass women who were also attractive and not really political. But in the modern day, you instead get Miss Resting Bitch Face that looks nothing like the character.
Resting bitch face. He can't talk about faces. Look at him.
And I could go on for hours.
His teeth looks like it could chew into wood like a goddamn beaver, man. You just can't do it.
Talking about the great
And yes, you do not look better than Sophie Turner at all. Like, I'm sure that was obvious, but yeah.
female characters from the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, spanning through all forms of media like movies, TV shows, comic books, and video games. Just look to the world of anime and manga to see perfect examples of how to do female characters correctly. Lara Croft is one of the excellent examples, because she had many games that men all over the world played, and they weren't really being preached to about how women are better than you. It's literally proven that Tomb Raider was made for straight men, not
You gotta be a straight white man to really enjoy the appreciation and the fastness of Tomb Raider. Holy shit. It's not like anybody can enjoy any character created, if they had enough like good characterization applied to them. I mean, shit. I wonder, on the flip side, will he say, look, fuck. Oh my god. It's like a Leon's a badass character. He shouldn't apply to females whatsoever. Like he has no aura, no riz, no sauce, no sex appeal, nothing. It's just I don't know where people get this stuff from. Where they try to pull a Clerks 2 and take a character back who they don't own. Like they don't own these characters. Like you can know a character from the ins and outs, deep down, lore intact, everything, and that's not gonna stop other people from appreciating those stories, or those characters, or that lore. So what are we talking about there?
Gay people, not cool queer people, because those people are
I like the distinction. It's like, gay people or cool queer people. So
those people are usually retarded. And in the 90s, you would have been called that instead of nowadays where you just get a pat on the back. And all over Twitter, there's just spasticated shit like this. What does this even mean? This is the best.
okay, yeah, this is the best live action Laura has ever looked. So I don't know what all these people that never played a Tomb Raider game are complaining about. Um, it is an opinion that I don't share in the first half, where I don't think that I still think Jolie is like number one, and I would say Turner is number two, and I would say number three is the chick that played Lara Croft in the reboot timeline movie that they made. It's all not bad. I don't think they look inherently bad. It's just that that movie is like such a blur in my mind because I watched it one time and I was just not impressed whatsoever. But still, the thing about this is that that's still his personal subjective thought, just as you have yours, no matter how racist and bigoted it may be. But yeah, the first half I actually don't agree with. I think that Jolie was the better looking live action one, but that's not to discredit Turner and what she could bring to the role and what she could do, and that's not calling her ugly either. It's just I prefer Jolie, but I don't mind other people stepping in. It's like, why can't we be a little bit more, how can I put it? I think the word I'm looking for is respectful. We just can't respect the idea and see what comes out of it. Because it could be some quality entertainment. It could be mid. It could be garbage. I guess we have to just give it a shot.
Best live action Lara Croft. Anybody complaining?
But it's true. I don't know what people were really complaining about when they say it's not Lara Croft. What makes it not, outside of no huge breasts? Because that's mostly what I'm seeing from people. Again, the physique is, you know, being yoked up. I thought that we would expect experienced mountain climber, experienced like fighter like Lara Croft to be a little bit yoked up. So I'm kind of glad the actress embodies that at the very least.
Has never played Tomb Raider, and you have a Faye Valentine from Cowboy Bebop profile picture. So that solidifies it that you're just completely slow. Faye Valentine,
Huh?
a character who is really.
Oh, hold on. If he has a profile picture of an anime character who you are co-signing, wouldn't that be a compliment? Like, should you be complimenting him? Why are you why are you talking about this in a negative way?
Valentine, a character who is really sexualized and made for male viewers in Cowboy Bebop, but also a badass character with a great backstory. Exactly like Lara Croft, a badass.
So if he has a profile picture of a badass character that you liked, why are you riffing on him? I don't get it.
Character in her own right, but also made to be sexualized and attractive.
Is it simply because he's trying to say, oh, well, you're supposed to understand with this Faye Valentine picture how she is sexualized for men, that Laura Croft is supposed to be the same way, so you're fucking stupid. I I don't know how you correlate that and try to say it all like that, but newsflash, someone can prefer and like something that you have an issue with and still be a fan of another franchise and have it be totally fine, and you don't have to correlate X and Y. Like I don't know why this is even being said.
For men. It's just cold hard facts, and somebody like this just can't realize it. And also about the part of, if you're complaining about this, you've never played Tomb Raider. I've played a lot of games from the Tomb Raider franchise, and I'm allowed.
It's like this. Laura is sexy, but she's also a badass. So she's conveyed as a badass in the show. That's kind of what I'm looking for, right? I mean, uh, isn't that an element of the character, right? That's an element you or nobody else has seen yet outside of the people rolling those cameras right now. It's like, what are we talking about here? It's like,
complain about it because of that. If you have a problem with that, then you clearly haven't played enough games yourself. I've played the entire new Woke trilogy, which is
what? I knew he was one of those. Every single time, it's like the people that are so adamant to defend the classic trilogy always winds up going back and saying, look at this woke garbage of the new Survivor trilogy. I like Survivor and I like classic. That's where I stand. So you're definitely not gonna get, oh, he's one of those. He just likes the fucking new trilogy. He's not really a fan. I like both of these and I can respect both. So I always thought this kind of bickering was stupid. This new trilogy kept Tomb Raider afloat for longer. You can argue with a fucking wall. You can go ahead and face that brick wall over there, buddy. But that shit, Tomb Raider 2013, it revitalized the franchise. It's the same thing when people kind of argue, oh my god, Resident Evil 4, not a real Resident Evil game. Why they change so many things? And it revitalized the franchise for the better. If it wasn't because of that, I don't think that the franchise will be around for far much longer than it already is. So I'm really thankful for those games. They were fun to play. They were cool. I like going around smacking people in the head with fucking rocks and shit. It was fine. I do get the complaints that people were saying, oh, it's kind of very, very similar to that actiony feel of Uncharted, but I mean, as an Uncharted fan myself, I don't mind a little bit more, even if it has a different coat of paint. So that's kind of how I was back then. But yeah, I think Tomb Raider 2013 was a good game, and I don't know where he's getting the whole woke thing, woke trilogy from. That needs more citation.
complete garbage, but has some good gameplay elements here and there. I've also
It's
played
complete garbage, but it has. You see how this motherfucker contradicts himself like 9.9% of the time. It's garbage. But man, some of that gameplay was fun that I was talking about. Oh man, it's not like I contradicted myself in the next fucking few seconds or so. Jesus fucking Christ, dude.
some of the PS2 and PS3 era games like Underworld, and I'm currently in the middle of playing through the classic PS1 games, which are some of the best of their time, up there with Metal Gear Solid. And after
All great games.
playing all of that, I can say that, yeah, no, that is not Lara Croft. That's some bitch pretending to be her. The archetype of Lara Croft's character being a rich English woman, which is kind of a mix of James Bond and Indiana Jones, just can't be fathomed nowadays.
Oh man, dude. I don't know where to begin on that comparison. Where James Bond is in the mix for Laura, I just don't. Uh, let's just move on from that one.
Indiana Jones just can't be fathomed nowadays.
Maybe it's the charisma. Yeah, I guess maybe, but still, dude.
By retarded people. There's way more handicaps out there like this person saying they're literally the same person. You can even see the abs. Yeah.
Dude, how can I put this? This is ironic for him saying all this stuff, but it's just a user doing a lot of hyperbole, which is what you do more often than not, but on the other side of the fence. Like, is he self-aware? Like, does he even notice this shit at all? Uh, you know, it's exaggerated positivity. We see this shit before with stands all the time, whereas you exaggerate a lot of negativity. You try to cherry pick problems that's not even there in the first fucking place. So it's like, go figure. Look at a fucking mirror, dude.
We're not really looking at the abs. It's not even the same hair color.
We're really not okay. Again, the physique of Sophie Turner matches. It looks great for Lara Croft. She's yoked up. That's a good thing. I don't know why we're even on this detail when you just can't beat the logic of what's going on there, dude.
As you can see from the original.
And yes, people are going to look at the abs. Didn't you say yourself that Lara Croft is a sex symbol? So good physique would get into the equation of that, right? Am I not wrong? Like, what the fuck? What the fuck, dude?
Picture, people love Lara Croft and the classic Tomb Raider games for two massive reasons.
Oh, it's only because of the triangle titties. That's it. That's the only reason they like the game. It's not due to the gameplay. It's not due to the characterization. It's not due to the exploration. Oh no, that's the only thing that people like Tomb Raider for is the giant colossal tits. What? Why can't you even be like normal and factor everything into the equation? You just gotta be so damn narrow-minded, man.
And Sophie Turner is missing them. And that may seem vulgar and you may not like it, but it's the truth. And to be honest, I don't really give.
I said before, I'll say it again. Someone cannot be a one-for-one of a character and still embody a character, which these people don't seem to understand. This is coming from Ranting for Vengeance, where he believed, and he said this, by the way, he said that Hugh Jackman's Wolverine is trash because he's not fully comic accurate due to his height. Process what I said for a second. Because Wolverine is taller, portrayed by Hugh Jackman, there was an issue with Hugh Jackman's Wolverine not embodying what Wolverine is because he needed to be shorter. This dude is a fucking clown, right? This dude is a clown. And I know he said that on one of the videos I was talking about where he got caught with a stray when I was speaking about the reception to Insomniac's Wolverine. I said the trailer looks great, and he was saying a bunch of bullshit. Yeah, this guy said that about Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. What do you guys think about that? Wolverine, the guy is you grew up with the actor embodying the character. Somehow, it's a lesser performance, and it's a thing that is held up to bad faith and saying that is not that good to begin with because the height is not comic accurate. What, do you want him to hunch over before it's actually a good performance? Like, what is the deal? Okay. Holy shit.
Give a shit. That's what Tomb Raider was made to be. If you don't like it, fuck off. And that's the point that I'm going to end this on right here, because GameStop officially posted up that this is not Lara Croft. And I got
yeah, they need to worry more about their stores closing before giving video game opinions, because currently speaking, the more they keep talking, the more they need to understand they are the death of a lot of physical media, and that CEO does not give a fuck. So I can see why people don't want to really hear the words from GameStop, because their respect has been diminished over the years, and that is, like, that goes around a lot of circles. When they were cutting fucking games up and putting them in the garbage, they don't care, man. It's a shame. It's such a shame, because I used to love GameStop so much, and even 2 retail physical stores shut down in my area. They're going the way of the dodo. All right.
at 30,000 likes, yet it got a lot of hate as well. I think that's the problem here. A lot of fake fans, tourists, and gay people who just can't handle the cold hard facts. With this,
or maybe it's a thing of, hey, this big chain account who shuts down a lot of stores, they gave their opinion on something, and other people gave their opinion in disagreement, which is totally fine and totally normal.
casting, you might as well have gotten a man, because her figure is nothing like the character that she's meant to be playing. And screw
What kind of people y'all be looking at when you say built women or dudes? I'm quite curious. Where does that come from? Because that's not the first time I've heard of that, and I guarantee it won't be the last. What compels people to say this? What is the logical mindset behind people saying that, oh, a chick looks like a guy even though she's clearly a woman from top to bottom? I've never understood it whatsoever. It just sounds like a weird fucking stupid insecurity from someone who just simply doesn't know what a woman looks like.
Through that even, Lara Croft is meant to be an experienced, mature character. In the first PS1 Tomb Raider game, you can tell that Lara Croft has been adventuring for years, and this isn't her first time.
We're talking about personality of a character, and then trying to equate that to a TV show because of looks only, where the only way you would wager that personality and that character is watching a trailer, a teaser, or the actual TV show itself. It's a no-brainer. That's kind of how it works.
Doing it. The only thing this 5 out of 10 right here looks like she can do is cry about George Floyd and gay people. So forget about—
What the fuck? You're bringing up the real life politics again. It doesn't have any existence or place in what they're going to include into Lara Croft's character with the show. So why are we bringing it up?
doing a backflip or holding a shotgun. GameStop is—
We need to see a trailer for this, and possibly more set photos with her holding a shotgun. And why are you speculating that she won't have these things is beyond me. But let's continue.
Right, along with most people on the internet with common sense. This is not Lara Croft. This is some BLM bitch who needs to fuck off. And the same
He's so mad about this person's politics. Holy shit. He's so fucking triggered about it. Like, a neck was kneeled on and they spoke out in protest against it, and he's putting it against this piece of entertainment media so bad. He wants to cross splice this information so bad into what Sophie Turner is doing with the character. Dude, this is just a delusional person at this rate. I don't know any other way to describe it.
goes to the fake fans, feminists, and cool queer people all over Twitter. The type of people—
So you are a fake fan if you like Lara Croft's abdomen in real life? Is that what he's saying? What?
people who like Lara Croft Tomb Raider and played all of the original games were men. And those people are the real fans.
I'm sure women have played Tomb Raider as well and liked it, and that also adds to the demographic, but go off.
Not you, you feminist retard. So
I'm telling you, these videos are so funny, dude. You just can't help but laugh at them. It's like a teleprompter saying the most outlandish clown shit.
if you are one of those real fans, do let me know and maybe consider subscribing. And if you got a problem—
No, we will not. What else is on the docket? I don't even think I can get through this Dr. Disaster vid. This fucking thumbnail is AI slop. I'll tell you what, I'll give him 2 to 3 minutes.
What is up, Space?
But that, yeah, that's AI garbage. Look at that. They forgot 2 big things. Chat GPT, give me AI titties ASAP. Okay.
What is up, Space Pirates? This is your Admiral, the always optimal Dr. Disaster, And I'm gonna start this off by saying something nice about Sophie Turner, who is playing the new live-action version of Lara Croft. She is
Oh, I know where this video is going. Well, I'll tell you what. My dislike, and that's it. Because here's what he's gonna say. He's gonna say, I think she looks amazing outside of the fact that there ain't no titties there, and we've already covered that with Ranting for Vengeance, where again, all about how they cater the character. You know, not every character is gonna have a big ass like certain characters. I mean, Gal Gadot is not even for Wonder Woman's sake, like Gal Gadot has a nice face for Wonder Woman, but she never had the physique. And the acting, the mileage may vary with Kal-El, no. Okay. But still, I always liked her face, but she never had the Wonder Woman physique, and I thought it was fine for the first movie because I actually enjoyed that first movie for what it was. But still, I don't want to hear you rant and drone about titties for like 11 minutes, so we will not do that. We're gonna go to the last video. Someone did a video on Critical Drinker. I will not take the full credit. This is That's Weird, Bro. Shout out to him. I'll give the video a like. And he pointed out a few key things that's worth laughing at in this Critical Drinker podcast when this information got exposed. I'm just gonna let him talk and I'll give my overall opinion after.
But like, I think a character like Lara Croft is a character primarily written for men or designed to appeal to men. I think for that reason, she should probably be written by a man.
Yeah, Lara Croft was written by a woman. If you don't know, that's Vicky Arnold. I did that information myself while before this video, and that's crazy. That's a crazy amount of misogyny to say that only men can write for Lara Croft when she initially began and pioneered from a fucking woman writer. That's just a severe lack of research. That's Weird, Bro goes on to say that one of the people that worked on Shogun worked on this show, so I guess that gives me a little bit of faith. And then they say Sophie Turner's been, up and down on the acting credits. We talked about that as well, but the X-Men movies were mostly garbage. So, and another thing too, people act like some actors can't improve either. From shit roles, dude. Like, I don't. It's like we live in an entertainment vector and environment where just folks, think that no improvement could be made to an actor's career. They can't land a gig that worked better for them than another gig. Again, I'm not saying that the show is going to be automatically perfect because that could be different when it comes out. I could review that thing and just tear it apart, right? But the thing is, if she's guided well, if the writing is fine, if she elevates that role, and it just turns out to be, they had to see something in that audition that we're not seeing yet. So that's why I'm gonna watch it and see for myself, just like everybody else. Then they go on. It's a couple of key points. I'm not gonna focus on all of them.
Going stupid. I can't wear this.
Oh,
And
that
then
looks
again,
yeah,
like,
well,
like she's in something crappy. She glances off to a costume, and do you
Oh yeah, they were saying, oh, she's gonna get rid of her outfit. That's the natural thing for them to do. She ditches the classic outfit, so they're just nostalgia baiting us and all this other stuff. I think that's more or less reminiscent to a lot of comic book media, right? A lot of comic book movies where they tend to find the classic outfit. It's just like the video creator says, where they make fun of it. Oh, Power Man, Luke Cage. Oh, you look like a damn fool in that TR. You look ridiculous. This is supposed to be a joke. He needs more evidence for this for them to say that for Lara Croft, because your assumption probably won't even be correct when the show comes out. And he makes a great point about Lara Croft wearing other shit, so I'm gonna let him speak off on that.
In fact, in that moment, is using it as a chance to make fun of that original design, which, to established fans, often just comes off as incredibly disrespectful. However, that cynical trend that you're discussing very rarely applies to the actual costume the character is promoted as wearing. I highly doubt our first look at the series would include Sophie Turner dressed in an incredibly accurate Lara Croft costume if they didn't plan for her to wear it in the show.
He's right, too. Why would they do a costume test to not have the costume? That makes no fucking sense whatsoever. Obviously, it's going to be a few episodes where she has it, and then when they switch over to Laura, maybe being in a more colder environment, or maybe she has to do some wet works, or maybe she has to, dress appropriately for the climate, then she's going to wear other things. It's realistic to say this costume is going to be featured in the show, but she's not going to be wearing it 24/7 because we have a character that changes clothes quite often, more than you realize. When Laura goes to a gala or something like a ballroom gala, and she wears a dress or something like that, a red dress or a black dress, she's going to try to blend in to look inconspicuous, right? You can't bring explorer gear to a regal party, especially if you're trying to blend in. So I think it's more realistic to say those things will occur where she will dress up for the part at times, and she will not be wearing this costume 24/7, but she will wear it.
I can't see them going for like the classic Lara Croft look for any length of time.
It's going to be in the show, dude. What the fuck are you talking about?
It'll be played off as a joke.
Despite him liking works that were previously created by this director, he simply just insists that they will make a joke out of Lara Croft for no reason. And you might be right. You might be able to see the future in this instance. But it's impossible for me, a rational audience member, to agree with you, the multi-million subscriber YouTuber, if you don't give any sort of reasoning. Your entire...
Yeah, where is this coming from outside of just your assumption? Like, for a critical drinker, where is this coming from outside of your assumption that they're gonna cast the irons off and pull the wool over your eyes? Because your experience with other shows might not be close or reminiscent to what the experience is going to be with this show.
Critique regarding whether or not they commit to her wearing this outfit the entire time throughout the show is also null and void, given the global scale of Lara Croft's adventures.
Yep, and this is her wearing other outfits with proof and evidence in the older games. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit.
Like C-cup boobs. And they made
It's the boobs thing again. Oh my god. They can't get off of it, dude.
to have D-cup for the
Yeah, I mean, they
enhanced
definitely like padded them out a bit, and that's fine. Like the movie was happy to play into that aspect of it.
Sure.
Yeah, Angelina Jolie is a perfect example of charisma, right? And it's not something you can always define. It's very like intangible. It's just you know it when you see it in a person. She has it in spades, and she has the screen presence. That's when you know you're looking at a leading lady A-list actress. And then you look at Sophie Turner. There's a reason she hasn't had a movie career post Game of Thrones. They tried it with the X-Men movies, massive flop, didn't work. She can't hold up a movie by herself. And so when you're looking for someone to play a super charismatic character like Lara Croft, even ignoring like the physical attributes, like you can give her a padded bra and make her chest bigger, doesn't matter. But like she has to have charisma, she has to have presence. She has to have that magnetism that you expect from a character like that.
All that shit, as I drop my hand sanitizer on the ground. Shit. All that shit will be resolved when the show comes out, because we're talking about seeing acting and work, maybe a trailer too. we need to see a visual of how she acts as Lara Croft personality wise before we even talk about character traits. It seems to me, and Birdman said this too. It seems to me that most grifters, they try to plant this seed into something being bad, and then if something winds up like going off the beaten path of their prediction, they either do two things. The first thing they do is they will put up a review bashing something that is universally praised, and we've seen Critical Drinker do this before, where he talked about Prey in a negative way, and then automatically changed the title of the fucking thing to something a bit more less controversial. I think he's going to do that if this show turns out to be remotely good, or it's people where something is universally praised or loved or whatever. Let's make a hypothetical, and then they double down on everything they said before in order to keep the grift and still stay negative. There are people that will do that. I've seen people do that before with Silent Hill 2 remake. I've seen it all. Okay, so I think they plant the seeds. They say it's gonna be shit, and yeah, there is the chance that something could be shit. But if those planted seeds don't turn out really well, it's like option A or option B. I still bash on it, even though I've been wrong about it in a lot of aspects, or I will upload a negative video to try to be a contrarian and change the title when it fits or when it's relevant. We've seen this shit before with not only Drinker but Kroby Cat with his Resident Evil 4 video where it went from soul to soulless, then it went to something that wasn't that controversial, then it went back to soul versus soulless. Stick to your guns, man. Like, if you're gonna fucking say this stuff, don't change it last minute. Otherwise, that'll make you look really egregious at that point.
Okay, so for an actor to be good and to be deserving of a job, you need to have intangible and undefinable attributes such as charisma and presence, whatever that means. This is
And this not only was an extensive casting process and auditions and stuff like that to impress people. That's what we're forgetting when people just say, "Oh, they got this random bum off the street." I don't believe that was the case.
delusional. Imagine getting denied for a job interview, and in the follow-up email, the HR lady tells you that you lacked the aura and riz required for that position. An actor's job is to act. This entire panel refers to only 2 projects they have ever even seen her in, and lack the capacity to imagine how she may be able to perform under a more competent creative staff. He insults Sophie Turner, implies that you can tell that she isn't worthy of being a protagonist in a movie based solely on her appearance, and then blames the box office failure of previous films that she was cast in solely on her.
And that's not even her fault for the X-Men movies. The X-Men movies failing ultimately for the bad films like Dark Phoenix or whatever, that's all on Fox. That's 100% all on Fox for the script, the direction, where the movie was heading. I remember watching the Dark Phoenix trailer and just not liking it, feeling like it was just Last Stand 2.0 and just feeling that that's all the stuff that Fox was in front of. And the actors just are all secondary or third at that rate. Like, come on, bro. Just come on. That's the hand that some actors are dealt to when they star in a shit movie, and they don't let their capabilities or I wouldn't even say capabilities, their full prowess didn't get the love or attention it deserved because it was attached to a shit movie, which again, they're not usually in control of these scripts, so why not even bring that up? That's just, and apparently he left out the fact that one of the people from Shogun worked on the show. It's just kind of weird, but whatever.
This is obvious sexism, and I don't throw those accusations around lightly. I'm not one of those types on the internet. However, it is impossible for me to imagine him making these same talking points about it if it were something like Batman. Even if it were Bruce Wayne being incredibly miscast, I can't imagine him using these types of talking points. Because there wouldn't be a context where he would say that a man being attractive or not caused a movie to flop. Yet, the critical drinker would happily blame the backlash against X-Men Dark Phoenix simply on, I don't know, Sophie Turner not having a big enough rack. What does he expect the movie to do? Like, what her to do?
And I just don't think she has it. I've never seen her demonstrate it in anything that she does. And I don't, as Mauer said as well, I don't think she's got a tremendous acting range either. She can do like scared and intimidated and not much else. And I just don't see her playing this.
Well, I remember people were partially praising a change in Game of Thrones to being more confident, and I still remember being like, I felt a little bit forced. I wasn't like totally buying it. And then I didn't buy her at all as the Phoenix.
So literally all of your sources of critique are not at her ability to act and display performative emotions via her face and bodily actions as an actor should. It is instead to complain about the believability of her character arc in Game of Thrones and the X-Men movies. Again, something she would have no input on as she is not the writer. Are you serious? The most masterclass of actors cannot magically make the script well written. They aren't miracle workers.
Yeah.
And they also kind of they admit that there was some praise given to one of her projects. It's just easy to point out Dark Phoenix and all that shit because it was not a good movie. So oh no, man, this shit's funny, man.
I actually think that a lot of times a really good director can pull things out of an actor or actress on screen that they may not have been able to do in other circumstances.
Oh gee, like what a shock, right? Someone could pull out more capability of someone if they have well directed films or TV shows, or if they just happen to have a moment where something could work. So first you guys cast a lot of doubt, and then you say that the possible isn't really impossible. Like what? Okay. This is what these people do. This is exactly what they do. There is no possibility in their mind. There's always this one arbitrary track into something being shit 24/7 nonstop 7 days a week.
And and also a good actor can just go to shit with a bad director.
Oh gee, more examples of where the possible has happened before with good actors working with shit material. It's almost like your excuse just falls under any sort of logical thinking or scrutiny, or bringing up even more examples where you think this S-tier A-fleet actor was gonna save a shit movie or project. Like, no. They wouldn't. They would probably be the best thing in the movie. I think the thing I mentioned before is Jenna Ortega, really good. But that movie she was in with The Weeknd, I think it's called Hurry Up Tomorrow. That movie she was in with The Weeknd was dog shit, but she was the best thing about the movie. But did it save the film? No.
I just don't think Phoebe
S-tier actor, by the way.
Waller-Bridge is the right director to pull that performance out of Sophie Turner. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think Phoebe Waller-Bridge is the right person for this.
Well, and I mean, is she directing, or is she just like show running and writing?
I know she's showing and writing, but
I don't know if she's got. I don't know if she's doing the directing duties. So yeah, potentially like a really good director could pull an amazing performance out of her, but you can't pull out what isn't there in the first place. Like even the best director in the world can't make someone act if they don't have the ability. And I just don't know if she's got it. And yeah, as you were saying,
so you have your computer right in front of you. I can see the reflection in your sunglasses. You can Google who is directing it. And that's, of course, assuming that you're actually being honest and not just lying to your audience. Because in the same announcement that you were previously reading for the sake of making this video, you would have had to have seen the director's name only a few lines down. And a 2-click Google search of just the name of the show would also show you that he's directing. Or if you just searched his name, you would see that he's the director of things that Drinker already enjoyed. And
Yep, which is Shogun. And you liked that. Therefore, there's a director attached that is high bar. Now, the writing from Waller Bridge, that's going to also be a thing that we need to see how that goes and how the character interacts. I know I sound like a broken record, but these people are kind of inherently broken records about this. So yeah.
And that's why Critical Drinker doesn't research anything, because his ideas don't hold up to scrutiny. And the more informed the audience is, the less reason you have to believe him.
Don't think
Yeah, because if you think they can't do it, you have a director that directed some pretty good fucking TV that managed to bring out the best of his actors for Shogun. It's like, come on, it's easy rocket science. That's why people question folks like this all the time. This is why people don't believe a lot of things that grifters say. This is why people believe that a lot of stuff they say is just off the dome bullshit and it's not well versed in any sort of logistics whatsoever. I'm gonna let him do this final point and I'm gonna end the video from there.
trust someone like Phoebe Waller-Bridge to write Lara Croft. I think she would try to make her she would probably just try to make her more relatable and grounded and like someone that she herself can relate to. She's going to try and give her way more flaws and just
oh boy. She's gonna do a self-insert right here. You know it's coming. We're gonna plant these seeds in here for this self-insert.
take away the adventure aspect of her, I would imagine, and probably play a lot of what our perception of Lara Croft is for laughs. Like, oh, you thought she was going to be all sensual and adventurous and stuff? Well, you know, that's just silly. Here's the reality of it. And then, boom, you get something quite different.
What's the problem with the story being grounded? Characters having flaws or being relatable? Why do you...
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't understand. Cause if she didn't have any flaws whatsoever, you would figure that this merry band of circle jerkers, they would be the first to say Mary Sue character woke, terrible, garbage, she's a bitch, like all of this other shit. So what's wrong with being grounded and what's wrong with having flaws as a character, you know, character making mistakes, shit like that, right? I don't understand. Even I know it's not that great, but even Laura coming in at the beginning of Angel of Darkness and making that mistake and getting implicated, you know, with I think her prints are all over the fucking beginning and they start hunting for her and shit like that. It's wrong place, wrong time, but still, like, why do people act like this can't happen? Why do people act like they aren't gonna put this character in situations that are equivalent to that? And there's gonna be flaws, there's gonna be some stumbling, but if you did otherwise, where the character is perfect through everything that she does, I'm sure she's gonna have moments where she gets her ass kicked or whatever. What's the problem with making it grounded? Like, yes, there should be a fight where Laura struggles. We've seen that before. We've seen people try to manhandle her before, and then she eventually comes out on top. Why the fuck is this an issue? I don't see the problem. I don't get the logic. It always depends on how they do it, because if something unbelievable happens that questions my thought process on the show and it breaks my immersion, then I'm gonna be like, no, there's no way, there's no fucking possible way that happened outside of just a plot contrivance, right? So it has the capability of happening, but he's just putting in so many hypotheticals that he wants to plant the seed of this being as terrible as it sounds in his head. But that's what I think about all this so far. There's just a lot of this turned into a discussion from a simple costume test to a whole web, a network of what could go wrong with the show or what will go wrong with the show, or just people implanting their assumptions and even a lot of their own like bigoted ways into some of this talk about a costume, and that's it. Like, holy shit, but that's how the grift continues. People will continuously try to make something up in their head until it's validated. Anyway, I am signing out. I think this has gone on for long enough. I hope you guys enjoyed my response to this, and I will see you guys next time. Later.